What does a vibrant, smart, healthy downtown and a smart, healthy city look like? Well, part of it is not we're inventing something new, we're going back to the future. This is a picture of Fargo on Broadway looking north in 1932. The Black Building would have just been completed the year before. And if you look closely on this old photograph, you'll see retail awnings stretching down the entire street, that there's full retail on both sides, that this is true mixed use in the sense that there are blue collar and white collar, government, education, healthcare, manufacturing, everything happening in a vibrant downtown walkable distance. And a lot of people that work downtown, because this was the center of retail, the center of education, the center of government, a lot of people got downtown by walking from the neighborhoods that were nearby. The framework that we use when we think about smart, healthy cities is that you have to have a vibrant core, and there's three main pillars to that. It's the workforce, the economics, and the health that really drive the importance of having a vibrant core. And let's just start with the definition of vibrant, because some people get confused of what that means. But when we define that specifically, that it has to be walkable, we'll talk about that. We talked about mixed use density, appropriate density, and mixed use means that you're combining the uses on the same property, the same block, so you get higher utilization. It means that we have to save our historic buildings and renovate them, and then we have to take the places where there used to be historic buildings and that are now surface parking lots, and we have to create new mixed-use infill. And we need to have a mix of uses so that we've got an 18-hour city. We've got people that are there from early. You can get breakfast in the morning, and you can stay late at night and create that vibrancy around the clock and 7 days a week. When I talk to companies that are recruiting people, and whether it's a professor, a doctor, a senior VP, or some technical addition right out of college, everyone that I talk to is using downtown as the differentiator to try to recruit people to move to the city. Today's job seekers are picking the city first and the job second. And so for us to be competitive and building a strong economy, we can't have a healthy state unless we have healthy cities, and the downtowns are the differentiators. The second element about vibrant downtowns and smart, healthy cities, the smart part, is about smart economics, and it's about smart growth. In Fargo, like a lot of cities across the Great Plains, has grown because you have multi-jurisdictional organizations, and you have park district, you have school district, and you have the city, each with their own boards, each with their own decision makers. In the case here, we've got park district, which buys land on the edge, we have school district, which buys lands on the edge, and then the city ends up chasing these other entities. So Fargo alone has now got more square miles than Boston or San Francisco, and if you take the Fargo metro area, we really clobber these metro areas with 83 square miles of growth. And what does that mean? That means that the population density is on the decline. I mean, the city has grown, but our area has grown faster. And it turns out the number one cost determinant from all those slides I just shared with you is the number one cost determinant in running a city is linear square feet. How wide is the city? Doesn't matter how tall the city is in terms of cost, it's how wide it is. And if those of you that are cheering for small government, if you believe in small government, then you need to believe in a small footprint. If those of you that are all about efficient use of resources and energy and green and health and walkability, you also need to believe in a small footprint. This is something that everybody should be able to get on the same page without controversy, because it's undeniable the efficiencies associated with a smaller footprint. And downtown is really an economic engine. This is using GIS capabilities, but you take the tax dollars generated by any particular block or acre or square foot, and the tax dollars in green represent how high it is. You can see that there's a towering shot of green coming out of downtown, and then there's sprinkles of lower green coming from a few pockets and a lot of red. The red and yellow, those are low density areas that generate less tax per square foot or less tax per acre, but we do have the case of many older businesses in downtown that are paying 10 times as much tax per square foot as, say, a new Walmart at 52nd on the end. A pattern that's not distinct to Fargo is that the old decrepit downtowns are the cash cows that are helping support the city. The last element is health, and that has to do with walkability. And again, Jeff Speck, who wrote a book on this, talks about pedestrians as a fragile species. This is an example of a sunny afternoon on South University. Again, federal distortions, because this is also US Highway 81. So in a city of only 100,000 plus people, we have 2-lane frontage roads and a 7-lane street. So we have 11 lanes wide. I hope none of you have ever been stuck in traffic on South University, heaven forbid. And I'm sure when you have, that you've never seen a pedestrian walking down there, because this would be an area that would be, these are the kinds of things that are super hostile to pedestrians. But what gets people out and get them walking? It's when you design cities around people, not cars. So again, there's lots of ways we can design walkability and design mixed use. If you're still not sure, you go to walkscore.com, type in the address of your business or your home and find out what your walk score is. And of course, we do have a walkable area which is downtown, and we can create other walkable areas around town with smart design as we build walkable urban cores in neighborhoods around the city. But in the end, what we need is we need smart downtowns to create smart, healthy cities, so we can have a healthy population, we can attract the workforce, and we can keep some tax dollars in our pocket because we've built an efficient city.